Hi, today I'm going to show you how to upgrade your memory on a Dell Inspiron Mini 10-inch netbook. Okay? Alright, let's get started. Okay, first thing you want to do is remove the battery, which I've already done. And then you want to grab a small Phillips screwdriver. Okay, there's 3 screws here you need to remove and 3 screws here that you need to remove. Some people do these, then take the keyboard out and then come right around. I figured just take them all out now. Because the memory is located under the keyboard. So that's where we're going. Some of these don't want to come out very easily. Okay. Now we flip it over. Now the keyboard sometimes will be stuck down. You can take a flat screwdriver and just kind of grab, you can grab like the delete key and just with your fingernail pry it up, or get a small piece to pry it up. Take a screwdriver and then as you come up it pops out. Then you have a ribbon cable. And you have 2 little black tabs on each end and you just push those out. And then you can pull the ribbon cable out for the keyboard. Set that aside. And then you have your hard drive, which has a screw here from this side. And then you have 3 more screws here you want to remove. And the other screw on the bottom is right there. If it doesn't fall out the first time, you can push on it. Then you've got a plastic tab. You push it, pull it that way, and your hard drive comes out. So now you know how to replace your hard drive. Okay, now for the cover here. Same thing. You can take either a plastic tool, a credit card, different things. If you're very careful, you can take a flat screwdriver and sometimes with your fingernail and get just started just enough and twist the screwdriver like that just to get that started. Once you get it started, then you can kind of start getting it on the rest of it, just pulling it out. Sometimes that comes easy, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you might have to take that screwdriver and just keep working it around. Keep like a slight tension as you go. And just twist a little bit. And you see that pops right out. Oh, I almost forgot this cable here. There's another ribbon cable here. And it's got a black plastic that just flips up. And then you can grab the blue tab and pull that ribbon cable out. And there's another cable here. It's not a ribbon cable, it's one you pop out, but I don't have to remove those. If you're careful, kind of move that without pulling up too high. And now you've freed the memory. So now there's 2 little tabs on each side you can push and the memory will lift up on its own. Grab the memory, the old one, grab the new one. Okay, there's the new memory. You never want to touch these pieces. If you do, you want to clean it with some alcohol. And you'll notice it can only go in one way. The slot here. And the memory can only go one way. So you push that in at a slight angle, make sure it's seated, and then just push down. Let me back out, and then just push flat down. Until those two pins snap. Once that's done, the memory is seated. Now you can start putting everything back. So look at that wire here, make sure you didn't pull it up at all. And then just work your fingers around. Make sure that's all snapped in. You can look here and see, you know, still hasn't snapped everywhere. And just give it a quick go over before you put the keyboard and everything back. It's all seated, flush. Now we'll put the hard drive back in. Slide it this way now until the two holes line up. And then put these 3 screws back. And the ribbon cable here, grab the little blue, make sure the black piece tab is up. Carefully push that in, and with one finger you can kind of push down and toward that way as you push down on the black plastic tab. Make sure it's seated. Just give that a tap, make sure it's in there all the way. You can check again for this cable here, make sure everything's seated, the hard drive. All the screws are replaced back. Now we can put your keyboard back. Again, the black tabs on here, make sure they're out. Push that in. Make sure it's seated all the way in. And then take your screwdriver and push down that way. And make sure they're completely seated. Now I'll take the keyboard, and there's 4 tabs right here that you want. There's little grooves that they can go into. And then make sure that seat. Now the screws are going to help hold that in. Close your lid, flip it back over, and start replacing the screws. Okay, flip it back over, open it up, make sure your keyboard pulled in. Give it another once over, make sure everything's seated. Okay, now we can replace our battery. Okay, I plugged her in and turned it on, and I hit the F2 to go into the BIOS, and just to make sure it boots, so it doesn't boot all the way into Windows. But make sure it works. When you upgrade your memory, it'll should beep and say F1 or F2 to go into setup, F1 to continue. It notices that your memory has changed. That will happen whether you decrease or increase. Off we go. I hope this helps somebody, and thanks for watching.